everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right, so for this video I am hoping it's going to be a short one, and the reason why I'm saying that is because it's a very warm day today and this room is really starting to heat up, as you can see with my face. So I want to get through this as quickly as I possibly can. I do have a fan system in this room and it works incredibly well, but unfortunately it's a bit loud. And my microphone would pick it up and it would be very distracting to say the least. So I can't have it on when I'm shooting videos. But having said that, I'm only going to be sharing my thoughts on some of my recent 4K pickups that I've gotten. There's only going to be 3 titles in this video, 3 of which are Steelbook editions. Of course, I am going to share my thoughts on the 4K transfers as well. So with that said, let's get this going. So the first title that I'm going to talk about here is The Substance. Now, this is a Steelbook release that I picked up from Amazon Italy. Now, I'm not quite sure how widely available this Steelbook is, because I couldn't find it on Amazon UK. I couldn't find it anywhere else other than Amazon Italy. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but yes, that's where I found it. The Steelbook is by no means special, if I'm completely honest. It does have a nice high gloss finish on it. As you can see, you got Demi Moore on the cover. Check out those eyes, by the way. How creepy does that look? So yeah, you got one side with Demi on it, and then when you turn it around, you've got her younger self in the movie. So like I said, not the most flamboyant Steelbook you're ever likely to see. But it does have a nice high gloss finish on it, so I don't know what else to tell you. So that is the main artwork on the steel. And I'll just turn it around, and that is the 2 discs inside, your 4K and your Blu-ray. And that is the Steelbook. So yeah, like I said, Amazon Italy, if you are interested. So yeah, before I do anything or say anything when it comes to the movie itself, I just want to quickly talk about the 4K transfer, because it's a beautiful 4K transfer. It really is. Now, I think the movie was shot digitally, so you know, you're getting that, you know, that very clean, very sharp looking image, as you come to expect with a movie that was shot digitally. There's none of this kind of artificial graying going on, none of that being implemented, which is always a good thing in my eyes. So yes, a very clean image to say the least. The implementation of Dolby Vision on this one is extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. You will not believe how deep the colours get on this one. They're not ridiculously vibrant, which is always great to see. Everything has been very tastefully handled. There's one scene that I want to single out. There's a bit in it where I think it's like a nod to The Shining. It's this long hallway, and when you see the carpet, it kind of does remind you of the Overlook Hotel. So I think it is a nod to The Shining. But when you actually watch that segment and you see the colours and you see how sharp the image is, I am not kidding, there is that much depth to the image that it feels like you could actually put your hand through the screen. It's like your TV becomes a window. It's a very convincing image, to say the least. I was very impressed with it. Now, it also comes with a DTS 5.1 audio. No Dolby Atmos with this one. You don't need it. The bass on this one can be extraordinary at times, particularly when you hear a lot of the musical numbers. So yes, your room is going to shake quite a bit when you do hear a lot of the score in this one. But for the most part, you know, it's a real dialogue-driven movie. The dialogue is clean, no issues whatsoever with that. And it's active when it needs to be active. It's not crazy. It's not the most aggressive mix you're ever likely to hear. It gets the job done. I think you're going to have few complaints with it. So yes, it has a wonderful 4K transfer. The DTS sounds great on it. But unfortunately, it means absolutely nothing to me, because I did not like this movie at all. Now, I get there's a huge fan base out there for it, and I understand. But you have to get, the thing with me is, body horrors can be very hit and miss with me. And unfortunately, this one is a big miss. Now, I always pride myself on giving movies a second go. I don't know if I can do it with this one. As a matter of fact, I told a few people that I was thinking about leaving this Steelbook back. So I'm still not sure what to do. The one thing that I couldn't wrap my head around, the one thing that was really bothering me with this movie was it seemed completely pointless. Now, if you're not particularly aware of The Substance, it stars Demi Moore. She is famous, or she was famous. She's not anymore. She's struggling with getting older. So she comes across this drug called The Substance, in which she basically gives birth to a younger self. I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Now, what I thought was going on with this movie was, I was under the impression that all her thoughts and her emotions were going to go into this younger version. But that's not the case. And then it kind of got me thinking, when you see everything that happens to Demi Moore in this movie because of what her younger self is doing, it begs the question that, why is she doing it? That I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like I said, I thought everything this younger version was doing, Demi Moore was feeling it all. She was feeling being young again, but that's not the case. It's clearly made, they put that across in the movie probably halfway through it. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, what is the point of this? Why is Demi Moore letting this younger version do everything that she's doing to her when she's getting absolutely nothing from it? And that's the one thing I couldn't see past that, unfortunately. It just seemed completely pointless to me. Unless I'm missing something here, and I'm sure one or two of you will let me know in the comment section, but that's the impression I got with it. And yeah, I just found it to be silly, to say the least. But anyone that's big into the body horror movies, I think you're going to get a lot from this, particularly when you see the last 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. It's absolutely insane, to say the least. But unfortunately, yeah, look, it wasn't for me. But look, this happens. They can't all be winners. So yes, that is the first title that I'm going to be talking about, The Substance. Speaking of them not all being winners, that takes me on to my second title. Now bear in mind, I watched this directly after The Substance. I thought I was going to get a bit of a pick-me-up. How wrong I was. The movie is Wolfman. So just like The Substance Steelbook, I want to take us around this one and give you a close look at it. So it does have a very simple matte finish on this one. Now I picked this up from Amazon Italy. Now there is differences if you get this from Amazon Italy to the States one. Because on the States Steelbook, when you actually look at the title of the movie, there's actually debossing, where in this one you don't get any debossing at all. So yes, a simple matte finish on this one. This is the Steelbook in full. And when you turn it around, that is the inside of it. So yeah, I have to tell you, the Steelbook does have a very kind of eerie look to it. I wish I could say the same for the movie. Unfortunately, I can't. So yeah, I had high expectations for this one because it's directed by Leo Whannell. And I don't think he's made a bad movie in my eyes. And I think our expectations were massively high because of his last movie, which was The Invisible Man. We thought that this chap was going to single-handedly bring back the old kind of Universal monsters to, you know, give us a fresh new take on them. Especially after seeing The Invisible Man. But after seeing this one, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Everything that could be wrong with it is wrong with it. It's a very simple premise. This son, he inherits his father's old house. Him and his family go out to this house. They get attacked by a werewolf. He gets scraped by him. They go into the father's house. And basically the movie becomes a home invasion movie that lacks any kind of imagination whatsoever. Might be one of the worst home invasion movies I have ever seen. It's boring. Lacks any kind of suspense or scares. There's a transformation scene in this, and it's laughable. How Leo Whannell shot this transformation scene and went, oh yeah, I'm onto something here. I think we all thought that we were going to get something, you know, on the level of an American Werewolf in London, but no. The transformation is essentially some fella basically pulling down his jaw, and that's about it. I know a lot of people out there were complaining about how the wolf looked. That didn't really bother me too much. You know, it's a Wolfman. I think it's a nod to that old Universal horror where he's a wolf and he's a man. So, yes, he's walking around on 2 feet. Well, he gets down every now and again. But it doesn't scream wolf. But like I said, I think it's a nod to that original kind of Universal monster movie. But yeah, everything about it, I just hate it. It lacks atmosphere. Like I said, when you look at the Steelbook, it has a very eerie look to it. The movie absolutely doesn't have that going on. Lacks suspense, lacks chills, lacks any kind of scares. The cast is unbelievably forgettable. I didn't like one single character in it. And I think there is an attempt at a twist on this one as well. And if it is a twist, then Leo Whannell should be ashamed of himself. It's a horrible movie. It really is. I might go as far as to say that I hated this more than The Substance, and that's saying quite a lot. So yes, I can't recommend this one, folks. I would stay clear of it. Hands down, one of the worst werewolf movies I have ever seen. The one saving grace that I will say when it comes to this is the 4K transfer does look amazing. Now, bear in mind, folks, this movie is dark, and I mean it's ridiculously dark. Some scenes are very poorly lit on this one, and the transfer does everything it can possibly do, but unfortunately, you can clearly see its hands are tied on certain parts of this movie, mainly to do with those ridiculously overly dark scenes. I'm not kidding, you can't see a thing. But the black levels in this one are beautifully deep, as you come to expect with a modern looking 4K transfer. And the image for the most part is sharp. I kind of got the impression that this movie might have been shot digitally as well. Kind of has that similarity to Substance. But even on them daytime scenes, which there's not many, it's right at the start, even those daytime scenes looked very dim, a bit dull to it. So yes, it's a dark image to say the least. So I think OLED owners are really going to appreciate this one because of how dark it does get. But like I said, brace yourself for those scenes. That scene where all the lights go off and go out in the house, it's horrendous to look at. I'm not kidding. Now, it does come with a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, and I found it to be a very good active mix. Just look at the opening 5 minutes to this movie where the father and son are in the forest. The forest comes alive with this Dolby Atmos soundtrack. All the trees are blowing above you. It's a great effect, and when that wolf is surrounding them, the way it just seamlessly goes from speaker to speaker, it's a very, very cool effect. So yes, it's a very, very active mix. Unfortunately, like I said, a lot of it does take place inside the house, and it doesn't be as active as you would like it to be. I was kind of hoping, you know, it being kind of an older house, you would start hearing creaks in the floors above you, this, that, and the other, just an immersive mix. Not quite there, but take nothing away from it. I think you'll be impressed with the Dolby Atmos in this one. But just like The Substance, it's all in vain because, yeah, I was not a fan of this movie. But I will give it a second go sometime in the future, but I'm not expecting anything from it, unfortunately. So yeah, The Wolfman. Right, so that takes me on to the last title that I'm going to be featuring in this video, and it is Panic Room. So I have opted for the Steelbook release. As a matter of fact, can you even get this in standard? I don't remember seeing it. I'm sure it must be out there. But this is the Steelbook anyway. I want to give you a close look at it. It does have a simple matte finish on it. Of course, you got the title of the movie. You got Jodie Foster there as well. You got the daughter as well. And it does kind of remind me of the Social Network Steelbook that came out, particularly when you see the back of it, because as you can see, it's just a couple of stills from the movie, and they've done something very similar on the Social Network Steelbook. So that is the back. This is the Steelbook in full, and this is the inside of the Steelbook. So you got a Blu-ray 4K, and of course you got a dedicated bonus disc. So this is the movie that I watched after The Substance and Wolfman, and it was a saving grace. It really was, because I am a huge fan of this. Directed by David Fincher. It has a very simple premise, to say the least. Jodie Foster moves into this new apartment with her daughter. There's a panic room inside this house, and what happens is 3 lads break into the house. I think it's Jared Leto, Forrest Whitaker. I can't remember who the other actor is, but yeah, they break into the house anyway. Jodie Foster gets wind of them being in this house. Both of them get into the panic room. They lock themselves in. The only problem is the 3 boys that broke into the apartment, what they want is actually inside the panic room, and it's all about them trying to get into them. It's a very cool concept, and it works incredibly well. David Fincher, 9 out of 10 times, this man always delivers when it comes to his movies, and this is one of my favourite from him. It has a little bit of everything. I am a huge fan. Now, I was very concerned, to say the least, when it comes to this 4K transfer, because I've heard horror stories out there when it comes to it. So I kind of braced myself for the worst, and I have to tell you, when I knocked it on, it's nothing near as bad as what people were making it out to be. Yes, there's no denying, absolutely no denying, that there is a bit of tinkering going on. You can actually see there was some DNR implemented to the image. But it's not ridiculously aggressive. We're not talking about T2 levels here. You do see it a lot, mostly at the start of the movie. I'm going to say that maybe the first 5-10 minutes. A lot of those daytime scenes where you can just kind of make it out in their faces. I'm not going to say waxy, but there is a certain smoothness to it that does look a little unnatural. So yes, I was a little bit concerned. I was at the start. The thing is though, as you know, if you're familiar with Panic Room, it's an incredibly dark movie. So after those first 5 to 10 minutes, when it becomes very dark, there's no issues. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. I thought it looked fantastic on 4K. It has those beautiful deep blacks that I come to expect with it. And you get it with an abundance in this release. It looks incredible, the black levels in this one. And then when you throw on that increased shadow detail, wow. That's all I can say. Wow, it is a beautiful looking image. Now bear in mind, folks, we did not get a Blu-ray release of this. So this is an upgrade from the DVD. And I don't have to tell you, this is a night and day difference. You shouldn't have any complaints whatsoever. Yes, there is tinkering going on, but this is how David Fincher wants his movies to look. He done something similar on 7, and I was very impressed with how 7 looked as well. And I was massively impressed with this one for the most part. Again, if you can look past the first 10 minutes where you can see some obvious DNR being applied to the image, if you can get past that, trust me, I think you're good. You're going to be good. I don't think you're going to have few complaints with it. Now, it does come with a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, and I was very, very impressed with this one. It being, like, you know, held in an apartment, like there's multiple stories to this apartment that she lives in. So, you know, you're going to be hearing a lot of running around above you. And the way that the Atmos handles all that, it's perfect. It's all about perfect placement when it comes to those higher channels. And it's a great effect. You can hear it, like, you know, going from one side of the room right across the other. And it's not a simple case of one, it's here and then it's there. You can feel it going perfectly across. So you're getting a lot of that in terms of the overhead channels. And it's a nice active mix, again, when it needs to be. But it's a very dialogue-driven movie as well. That goes without saying. And you're going to have no issues whatsoever in terms of the dialogue. Very clean. It's a great Atmos soundtrack. I think it's a good 4K transfer. And I think after hearing all those reviews, I think it might have helped with my enjoyment of this. Because my expectations were so low for it that I was almost blown away by it. And I cannot believe I'm saying that. Look, it's not going to be the best 4K transfer you're ever likely to see. That goes without saying. And I think purists might have a problem with it. And that's okay. That's okay. But I think your average viewer are going to be very happy with what they see here and here. So, yeah, not too many complaints on my end. I was pleasantly surprised, to say the least. So there you have it, folks. Panic Room. And that is the last title that I'm going to feature in this video. I thought this was going to be short, but it's obviously not, because I can't stop talking. And apologies for that. But again, I just wanted to get my point across when it comes to all three of these movies. It didn't quite work out for me in terms of the first two. But Panic Room to the rescue. And what a wonderful movie that is. So I'll say no more. So I will let you go. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you could do, leave a comment down below. And please do share your thoughts on all three movies that I featured in this video. And yeah, I hope to see you all again real soon with my next. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.